People, you know what? People are going to disagree with me. I feel like Book Talk would disagree with me, but this is what I think. I think if you can't role play in your story's probably not good. Like, if you can't role play in the world and make use of it, probably not a good story. Probably not a good world. I know not everyone would role play in their own world, but I feel like if you can make stuff off of the world and play with all of the pieces and parts like it's a game, and then you can refunction that into a working story with somebody else, probably a good world. Probably good. That's just my opinion. I know people going, elaborate. I'm curious. Okay, so hear me out. Think about all of the fandoms that are out there. So when it comes to role playing, some people like role playing in fandoms, right? And they'll role play with like autistic level knowledge. I do it. I know other people do it. I role play in Resident Evil, Cyberpunk, Fallout, my own world, and I have a lot of deep knowledge. So using all of the knowledge from all of the lore, I'm able to create my own story with made up characters that I made up for the plot I decided to do. I think that is, to me, that denotes that the story, the world is good. If you can make up your own story in the world without it being with the main characters, like you can do it with, like, I know someone's going to be like, you said Harry Potter. You can make up a whole new plot in Harry Potter, not using the main characters, and it could be a good story. You could think about the game that came out. That game was actually pretty good, even though people are like, wee! But you know, if you can role play in those settings, it's probably a good setting because it has enough juice. It has enough juice to play with, has enough elements, has enough lore, has enough thought put into it that people can actually make up their own stuff. People roleplay original Avatar. People roleplay fucking Sonic. Like, if the world is good, you can roleplay in it, and it could be roleplayed as probably a good world. You probably built a good world. People roleplay Star Wars. People roleplay fucking Final Fantasy. I get it. I actually understand that perspective. Yeah. You can take literally anything. You thought of 50 Shades of Grey, Twilight, and Harry Potter. I mean, in Twilight, you could actually roleplay Twilight. It wouldn't be as fun without the main characters, but you could use it. With 50 Shades of Grey, you couldn't roleplay. It doesn't work that way. I would say maybe it doesn't work for, like, if you're just writing a regular story, like a story where there's no, I doubt it. Like, I'm trying to think, like, people do original Attack on Titan roleplays. If your world is easy to fandomize, where people can make OCs and shit, you probably wrote a good world. It's like if the elements can stand on their own outside the context, then it works. Yeah. Like, what was it? Like, you can play with the tribes and whatnot in Avatar without the canon characters, and it would be fun. Exactly. Like, for example, a bad example of bad world building is the anime Gate, right? So I don't know how much you guys know about the anime Gate. So the anime Gate it's basically like the real world and a fantasy world have like a gate that they can come out of. And basically not the fantasy world, but real world, it completely demolishes the fantasy world. Like, even though they have magic and stuff, that world is so tight that you can't role play it. You can have a fandom of it, but you can't make OCs because it's the plot is so tight. There's nothing to play with. And if there's nothing to play with, then I feel like the world is not good. The story might be good, but the world is not good. So that's why there's no people like fawning over how good this anime is. Most people don't even fucking know about the anime Gate. That was a nice food for thought. Aw, I'm glad. You know what I might do? I might take this VOD and cut it down a little bit and maybe put this up on my other channel on Nimosphere and cut into it and put it together. I think it's good world building advice. It's nice to have a good story, but it's even nicer if other people will fucking fandomize the shit out of your stuff. That's what you want. You want people to fandomize stuff. That's what Audra Winter wants. And it was easy because she had the Zodiac. It was so easy because people would be like, oh my god, I'm a Cancer. Where do I fit in this world? Where's my OC? Where's my OC gonna be? Do you see what I mean? Like, that's what she wants. But her world is bad. And her story's bad. I'm actually noticing this in stuff I love as well. There's lots of shows that I love where I can make stuff surrounding it with the original content. And it's easy to think about how I would fit. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you can't have a good story, right? You can still have a good story But if you want people to fandom the shit out of your stuff, like I would say, like, I like Fruits Basket because of the Zodiacs too. I love stories that are based on the Zodiacs. Like I would say, like, oh, that's actually a good example of a world that has a good story, but there's no, like, you need the main cast. It's not a good world. It's a good story. Because there's, like, and I'm not saying, like, that's an example of it being a good one, right? I love Fruits Basket, but there's nothing you can do in the world. Like, if you make an OC, you can't, like, add yourself in it unless you're making up something completely different in the future or in the past. And even then, the characters would have to be related, and you need to figure out, you know what I mean? Like, there's too much stuff that you would have to play with that can't be original. You want people being like, I made my OC and my OC does this. Meh. That's what you want. Sorry, because that's how you get inspiration. And people, if people can be inspired by you, that's even better. That's why Sonic is popular in the OC sphere, as well as My Little Pony. Their worlds are made for that. Exactly. People can be like, oh my god, who would I be like if I was with My Little Pony? What would my Sonic OC be like? What would my Freedom Fighter be like? The world's made for that. The world's made to play with. OCs, oh my god. See? Yes. Damn, Nimbus, someone give this woman a spot. That was so hard. That was some hard wisdom. Yes. Like half of the ideas that come from somewhere come from something else. Like when I tell people, like, in my fantasy, in my light novel, one of my stories is a little bit inspired by Expedition 33, because the thing is that's how you get the hook. It's not just about people getting immersed. If people are making custom content for your story and world, it also keeps it alive long after the run of the series. Yeah, you want people to do that. You have to think about, how would somebody play in my world if I let them? If I gave somebody the guide, could they make their own story? Would they want to make their own story? And I'm not saying that there's not good stories without a good world. Okay, I'm not saying that, because there's plenty. There's plenty out there. There's plenty. Like, I'm trying to think of another thing that has a tight story where you can't play with the world at all. Like, it's you can't make OCs. It's a hard thought. Let me think. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go in a minute, but let me see if I can finish my thought. Let me look at my Goodreads. I feel like I'll be able to find something there. I want people to have a good time when they come to my place. You guys come here to come and hang out, and you can either draw or you can talk. You don't have to do shit. You can just hang out. You know what I would say? I would say actually maybe like some of the classics, like the Mark Twain classics, like Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. And it's not because they're old either. It's not a work I'm making public, but I still make it interesting. That's okay. It doesn't have to be out there for everyone to see who will make it industry. So I feel like it would be easy for people to make OCs and whatnot to compete with each other. Yeah. There we go. Something like Amnesia, where it's about a girl who doesn't. It's an anime that I watched. It's about a girl that doesn't remember anything from around her, and she just keeps on repeating the same cycle, but with different men in her life, trying to remember which one is who and what. So there's no way to make like an OC of that. You'd have to like write as one of the characters. Me and my friend are making our own world, and I'd like to make characters that could have their own side story too. I loved Amnesia. Amnesia was so good, but you can't have OCs in Amnesia. You have to have the originals. Okay, fams, listen. You know what time it is? It's my time. All right, guys, it's my time. Unfortunately, I did love streaming with you guys and hanging out today, and look forward to my other videos coming at the end of the week. You guys got a few coming up. They're not long. They're mostly like maybe 10 minutes or maybe less. It was fun watching and chatting. Yep. See you guys later.